At the 2023 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, Max Verstappen continued his record-breaking streak, capping an incredible season in which he won a title. By doing this, he is clearly sending a message to other F1 drivers. After breaking even more records at the 2023 Abu Dhabi Grand Prix, Max Verstappen had the statistically best Formula One season ever. A record-breaking 19th victory of the 2023 season was achieved by the triple world champion, who also set records for the most laps led in a season, greatest points differential to second in the championship, and more. It happened just 1 week after Verstappen created racing history at the first ever Las Vegas Grand Prix, turning him into the first driver to win 3 races in a single nation in history. With his victories in Austin and Miami, along with the triumph on the streets of Vegas, he took home every U.S. Grand Prix in 2023. In Vegas, Verstappen led for 29 laps before lifting the checkered flag, shattering a record that had stood for 60 years. The Red Bull driver had led 75.06% of laps at that point in 2023, the highest proportion ever and higher than Jim Clark's record of 71.47% from the 1963 campaign. However, Verstappen raised the total following the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. Which records have Verstappen set or broken now that the 2023 season is over? He won all of the U.S. Grand Prix in 2023 thanks to his triumphs in Austin, Miami, and the streets of Vegas. Before raising the checkered flag in Vegas, Verstappen led for 29 laps, smashing a 60-year record. By the time in 2023, the Red Bull driver had led 75.06% of laps, the highest percentage ever, and surpassing Jim Clark's record of 71.47% from the 1963 campaign. Verstappen increased that sum, though, after the Abu Dhabi Grand Prix. With the 2023 season over, which record has Verstappen broken or set? Verstappen is not only surpassing his record in Sao Paulo, but also breaking Ascari's. Verstappen broke the record set by Michael Schumacher and Sebastian Vettel in 2004 and 2013, respectively, with 15 Grand Prix wins in 2022. Amazingly, though, Verstappen and Red Bull elevated it to new heights in 2023. Verstappen eclipsed his 2022 record at the October Mexico Grand Prix, and he has had 19 victories this season. Verstappen persisted in smashing the mark set by the world champion drivers of Red Bull. Vettel eclipsed the previous record of 7 straight wins set by Ascari and Schumacher by winning the last 9 races of the 2013 season. Vettel's record seemed to be unbreakable for a while at first, but after 10 years, Verstappen became unstoppable. He began the run by winning the Miami Grand Prix in May. 3 months later, at Verstappen's rain-affected home race in Zandvoort, he equaled Vettel's record. 3 months later, at Verstappen's rain-affected home race in Zandvoort, he equaled Vettel's record. A week later, the Red Bull driver won the Italian Grand Prix for the 10th time in a row, but Verstappen's incredible run came at an end with Carlos Sainz's victory there. After winning all 3 Grand Prix in the USA in 2023, Verstappen became the first driver to win 3 races in one nation in a single year. Prior to triumphs in Austin and Vegas later in the year, it began with a victory at Miami Grand Prix in May. But it was only the 3rd occasion in Formula One history that a nation held 3 Grand Prix in one season. Italy held Grand Prix in Monza, Mugello, and Imola during the COVID-19 affected 2022 campaign, while the United States did the same with races in Long Beach, Detroit, and Vegas in 1982. The Grand Prix is not won on a Saturday or Friday for the sprint race format, but if Verstappen achieves pole, then it is quite a foregone conclusion what will happen. The Red Bull driver has converted all of his pole positions into victory into 2023. Even though Verstappen has won all 12 of his pole positions this season, that accomplishment is only a portion of the record that the Red Bull driver presently holds. He has won 16 straight races after starting from pole position. The streak began at the 2022 Dutch GP. The previous time he was unable to turn a pole into a win was in the Austrian Grand Prix in 2022, which Charles Leclerc won. 6 of those 12 poles have formed a hat trick. On a Grand Prix weekend, this is the moment when a driver secures pole positions, wins the race, and turns the fastest lap. Here's another instance where Verstappen broke his record in 2023 rather than 2022. The Red Bull driver achieved 18 podiums during his historic 2021 championship match against Hamilton. Before shattering his record in 2023, Verstappen followed it up in 2022 by joining his fellow world champions with 17 podiums in a season. Verstappen finished outside of the top 3 just once, in Singapore, when he was on the podium 21 times. Another record that dates back to the 2022 season finale in Abu Dhabi is that victory at Yas Marina Circuit started a run of 15 consecutive top 2 finishes for Verstappen, which ended at the 2023 Singapore GP. It meant Verstappen matched Schumacher's record from 2002 of most consecutive top 2 finishes, behind the pair in Hamilton on 12, which he set across 2014 and 2015. With just 2 sprint races and 5 Grand Prix remaining in the season, Verstappen astonishingly smashed this record. In order to win in the Middle East, the quadruple world champion in the Qatar Grand Prix surpassed Vettel's record of the leading 739 laps in a season. Verstappen now holds the record with 1,003 points. One of the greatest driver seasons in Formula One history. Clark's 1963 campaign saw him win 7 of the 10 races and secure his first title with 3 Grand Prix remaining. He achieved this by leading 506 of the 708 laps that year, setting a new record with a percentage of 71.47%. Until Verstappen, no driver had been able to surpass such a percentage as the years passed, and dominating eras came and went. He has led 1,001 of the 1,325 laps in the 2023 Grand Prix, giving him a percentage of 75.54%. Probably one of Verstappen's more unusual records. In 2023, he made 6 pit stops alongside Jenson Button to win the race in the Dutch GP. The record was initially set by the 2009 world champion at a thrilling 2011 Canadian Grand Prix. Rain caused the race to start under safety car conditions, and Button didn't seem to have a chance to win until much later in the race. He had a terrible start to the season, which included knocking out teammates Hamilton from the Grand Prix. The McLaren driver was placed last by Button at his 6th and last stop, but that proved to be his saving grace as he was the only driver using slick tires. He moved fast through the pack in the drying conditions, and when Vettel drove wide at turn 6, he took the lead on the last lap. Verstappen's home race, meanwhile, was considerably less exciting. Verstappen led the race the entire way to win, even though drivers had to stop for intermediate tires before the end of the 3rd lap after beginning on slicks. After that, the weather alternated between wet and dry. Few things better illustrate Verstappen's supremacy in 2023 than the lead he has in the championship, especially when it involves Sergio Perez, a teammate who uses the same equipment. Verstappen nearly doubled Perez's score by winning the title with a 290-point lead over second-place Perez. Very early on, it was evident that Verstappen would win 3 world championships in 2023. The Red Bull driver won the championship in October following the Qatar GP sprint race because of his outstanding season. With 6 Grand Prix remaining in the season, Verstappen secured the championship since he did it following the sprint race. He shares the record for it with Schumacher, who did so in 2002. In the 11th round of the season, he won the French GP, earning his 6th championship. From the 2018 British Grand Prix to the 2020 Bahrain Grand Prix, Hamilton accumulated a record 998 points in a row. This run of success came to an end when the 7-time world champion tested positive for COVID-19, causing him to miss the secure Grand Prix. In 2023, Verstappen scored 1,004 points in a row, ending it. After retiring from the Australian Grand Prix 2 weeks earlier, he began this current run of point-scoring form with victory of the 2022 Emilia-Romagna Grand Prix. That's all for now. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this video and found it informative, don't forget to hit that like button below. And if you want to stay updated with more great content like this, make sure to subscribe to our channel by clicking the red button and ringing the notification bell so you never miss any future content from us. Your support means the world to us.